Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Okay, did you turn your page and have you gone through the topics that we have learned in the morning class? Hi, Emmanuel. Did you gone through the topics?
No, yes, ma'am.
Voice is not clear. So let's revise the topic once again. So today we have started a new chapter, which is file handling, right? After that, we have discussed about file handling. It is a process by which we can read data, isn't it, using Python program. After that, we have learned that there are two types of data files, which is text file and binary file. Text file consists of human readable characters. And what about binary files? They are made up of non-human readable characters, which means that we are not able to understand that language, isn't it? Then text file, what we have discussed about the text file? It contains sequence of characters, isn't it? And the extension can be .txt, .py, right? And while coming to the next topic, and we have also learned that each line of a text file is terminated by a special character, that is end of line, isn't it? By default in Python, it is /n. And there are two types of text file. Which are the two types of text file? Regular text file and limited text files. Okay. Then in regular text file, we have learned that it shows the text in the same form as we type, isn't it? So what is the file extension? It is .txt. After that, we have learned about delimited text files. In this, a special or specific character has been stored to separate the values of each value, isn't it? It can be tab character or it can be comma, isn't it? So TSV stands for tab separated values and CSV stands for comma separated values, right? After that, we have gone through some of the examples related to these files. At last, we have discussed about binary files, which means that it stores the information in the form of streams of bytes, which means that the language or the characters which has been understood by the computer. And we have learned that there is no delimiter, isn't it, in binary files. And these binary files are faster and easier for a program to read and write than text file. Till this we have covered in the morning session. Now we are going to continue our portion. Okay, so as I told you, there are different steps when we are handling a file. First one is that we have to open that, isn't it? First, we have to open the file. After that, we have to perform read or write operation. At last, we have to close the file. Okay, so these are the basic tasks which is to be performed. So first, we have to open a file, isn't it? So first, we should open the file for reading or writing. After that, we can perform any operations in that file. And if all the operations are been over, after that we have to close the file. So these are the basic tasks. Okay, these are the basic steps in file handling. First we have to open, then we have to read or write the operation that we want. After that we have to close. Like you does when you are learning a topic. First you open your book, then you just learn or you just write. After that, if it is over, you just close that, isn't it? Yes, Emmanuel? Yes?
Yes,
What is?
you have to move the file.
Okay, so these are the steps that has been followed. Okay, only you have to write the heading. Opening file, performing read or write. After that, closing a file. That you do when you are learning. You open a book. After that, you just perform your task. After that, you will close the book. Yes, no need to write the sentences regarding each topic. Only write the topic. Okay. Now we are just moving to the next topic. See, first one is opening file. So to open a file, we will use a function. This is the function to open a file. Okay, so to work with the file, first we have to do is that we have to open files in a specific mode. Let it be there. I will explain about the specific mode. So what is the first thing we have to do? If we want to work with a file, first we have to open. For that, we will use the function. This is the function that we use to open a file. Okay. So the basic manipulation task means adding, modifying, or deleting text in a file is possible. Okay. So there are different types of combinations for that. We can read data from the file. We can write a data of a file. We can append. Okay. So basically there are three types of operations that can be performed with a file. First, we can read, or we can write, or we can append. Okay. So these are the basic file manipulation tasks. So which are the three basic file manipulation tasks? Reading, writing, and appending. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about this in detail. So these are the basic manipulation tasks that we can perform with a file. Its combination are like that: reading, writing, and appending. Okay. The only point you have to notice that what is the function to open a file, then which are the basic tasks that we can perform with a file. Okay, reading, writing, and appending. Yes. Shall we move to the next slide? So moving to the next slide. First one is opening a file. As I told you, to open a file, we will use which function? Open function. This is the open function. Okay, we can open a file for either reading or for writing or append. This is the mode. In the previous slide, we have said about a specific mode, which means that we can open a file for reading purpose, for writing purpose, or to append any more information. Okay, so what is the format for opening a file? It is, see this, file object, then equal, then open function. Inside that, you have to write the name of the file. So this is the syntax to open a file. What is the syntax? First, you have to write the file object, which means that object of the file. Then you have to write open function. Inside this, you have to mention the file name that you want to open. So this is the one of the syntax to open a file. Or you can write like this also, which means that inside the open function, you can write mode also. Mode means it can be reading mode, it can be writing mode, or it can be append. Okay, so these are the three basic modes. Either we can read the file, either we can write, or we can append. So this is the basic syntax for opening a file. What is the basic syntax? First, you have to mention the file object, then equal, after that open function. Okay, inside that the first parameter is the name of the file, and the second parameter is file mode, which tells how the file will be used throughout the program. So this file mode tells about the file. This mode tells how the file, it tells how the file will be used throughout the program. So inside open function, there are two parameters. First one will state the name of the file, and second one, it will tell about the mode, which means that it will tell how the file will be used, which means that are we opening this file for reading purpose, for writing purpose, or for appending. If we have not mentioned anything, if we have written like this by default, which is the mode, read mode, important one. In multiple choice question, you can expect this question. If the mode is not specified, then which is the default mode? Read mode. Okay, read mode. This is one of the important question. You can expect this. So which is the default mode in the open function? It is read mode. Okay, this is the read mode. Yes. Now let's see one example. See, this is one of the examples related to that. First one is file variable. It can be known as, it can be called as file variable or file object. There are different names, or file handle. Okay. In this, what is the name of the file that we are going to open? It is story, isn't it? Story.txt. And it has been linked to, this is the object, file object. This is the file object. Okay. If we want to access any file, we need its corresponding object. This object, this is the file object. Okay. So in this example, you can see that my file is the name of the file object, and this is the name of the file that we are going to access. So which is the mode here? Mode is not specified. So which is the mode here? Read, isn't it? So please note down this example. So this is the name of the file, story.txt, and my file is the name of the object. Actually, file object creates a link between the program and the data file, which has been stored in a storage device. Okay, it creates. Now we can access this file with the help of this. No need to write the name of the file always. Only we have to write this one, the name of the file object. Okay. Now let's look at another example so that your doubt can be clarified. So here, look at this example. From this statement, you will get to know that we are going to open a file, isn't it? So which is the file object? My file. Okay. Which is the file we are going to read? It is article. What is the extension? .txt. Which is the file mode? It is R. R stands for read. Okay. R stands for read mode. W stands for write mode. And A stands for append. Okay. So this is another example to open a file. And next one, look at this one. Look at the next example. My file is equal to open. Then what has been written? Location has been specified of the file, isn't it? After that, R. R stands for read mode. Here you can see double slash. What is the meaning of this? When you open a file, when you open a property, when you locate the location of a file, you could see only one slash. Then why here double slash has been specified? Any guesses? Have you ever seen about this slash n slash t?
Yes, ma'am.
It is having another, what is the meaning of, what does it tell? These are the special characters, isn't it? Slash n stands for new line and slash t stands for tab. Okay, if you are having some name like this, for example, in open, then comes file name, like this. If single slash comes, the computer will treat it as a special character, but actually this is the location, isn't it? It is the location of the file, right? Yes. So to avoid this, we are just putting double slash. Here you can see that why we are putting single slash in the place of double slash, because in Python single slash is used for escape characters that you have learned. I hope you have learned in the previous class, isn't it? Have you learned the escape characters, different types of escape characters? Yes or no? No. Yes. So to avoid that, we are using double slash. Okay. If your folder's name is Nitin, it will be like this, isn't it? But computer will treat it as a escape character. So to avoid that, we are using double slash. Okay. So we have to always use double slash for specifying the path. So to avoid this. Okay, Manuel? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why we are using double slash? So these are the different ways to which we can specify. We can use the open, we can open a file. First one is, what is the first one? First syntax. First, you have to specify the object name, file object. After that, you have to use open function. Inside that, you can specify your file. This is the first method. Second method is that you can use the second parameter, which means that you can specify the mode, which means that R, W, or A. And third method, you can specify the path using double slash. So this is another question, why double slash is being used to. What is the reason behind that? What is the reason behind that? Why we are using double slash?
Not be confused.
To avoid? Because in Python, what is the
To
reason?
avoid escape character.
Yes, single slash has been used for special character. If our path contains any N or T, then it will treat it as a special character. To avoid that, we are using double slash. Okay. Look at here. So another solution for double slash is that we can also use single slash, but before that we have to put R. Okay. When we are using R before the path, this is the path of the file. This is the path of the file. When we are using R before the path of a file, then it will make the string as row string. Then it will make the string as row string. It will tell the computer that you just treat it as a string. There is no special character. There is no escape characters in this. Okay. If you don't want to use backslash, then you can put R before that. And this R specifies that this string is a row string. Okay. So there is no special meaning attached to any of the characters here. Okay. Yes, Emmanuel, you're getting? Did you get the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So another solution for the double slash is that you can use R. Important point, you can use R before the path. This is the path of the file. So you can use R before the path, making the string as row string, which means that it conveys that there is no special meaning attached to any of the string which has been written here. Okay. So if I ask you what is the alternative solution for the double slash, then you can specify that we can use R before that, which will specify that the string is, which will make the string as row string. That is no special meaning, which conveys that there is no special meaning attached to any of the characters. So which is the mode here? Reading mode. Which is the reading mode?
Ma'am,
Huh?
ma'am, are we only allowed to use R?
No. We are going to discuss about that. Okay. Yes. We can use W or A. We have just chatted. We have to now describe. I will explain about W, A, and all. So which are the basic three types of mode? File mode, read, write, and which are the append? Yes. So this is the alternative solution for double slash for this problem. So there are different ways to write or to access or to open a file. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Now, I would like Krishna.
Ma'am,
Yes, my dear.
not completed.
Yes, dear. Yes,
No, ma'am, not completed actually.
you have not completed. Okay, that slide. You want that
Slide,
slide?
ma'am.
Okay. Which one, my dear? This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After this class, please go through your text. Okay. Over, my dear. Look at this word. Okay. This is one of the important. Over.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Krishna, look at this. Look at the screen. Now tell me. Can just explain this one? What is the file? What is the name of the file? Which type of file is we are going to open?
That's fine.
Yes. Yes. Tell me. What is the name of the file? This is the name of the file, isn't it? This is the file
That's
path.
fine.
Yes. Which mode we are using? Which file mode we are using, Krishna? Read. What is this? What is the
Read.
use? Okay. What is the use of this R? It makes the string. What is the rule of this R? Yes, Krishna. Yeah. It will make. See, in this example, we have discussed what we have discussed. If we are using R before the path, it makes the string. It makes this string as row string. Okay. So that we can avoid double slash. Please do learn. If we are using R before the path, so this is the path of the file, which means that this file has been stored in this folder in which directory D. So this is the path of the file. Okay, if we are using R before the path of a file, then which means that the string, it will become a row string. Okay, which means that there is no specific meaning attached to any of these characters. Is that clear? Even if /n or /t is been detected, it will not treat this as a special character or escape character. Okay. Yes, my dears. Yes. Okay. So what is the description of this? My file is the file object here. What is the file object? What is the name of the file object? It is my file, or we can, another name for the file object is file handle, or we can also say it as file pointer. Okay, it holds the reference. It holds the reference of this file. In Python, we used to access the files using this file object. Okay, you all are having your rule number, isn't it? Yes, that is your reference, right? If I want, I can call rule number 36. No need to tell your address and no need to tell your name. Only have to use that number. Like that, a file in a Python can be accessed using a file object. First of all, when we are opening, we are just using this file object. So when we want to access that file, we will just go with this file name. Okay, we will go with this file object. Okay, so file object plays an important role in this Python program. We want to access or manipulate a file, we will use file object. Okay, so what are the names for the file object? It can be also known as file handle or file pointer. Pointer, the one who points. So this file object points to the file. So this file object establish a link between the program and the data file, which has been stored in a permanent storage. It creates a link between program and data file. Okay, so this file object creates a link between it creates a link between program and data file. Okay, so file object, the other name for the file object is file handle or file pointer. So we can manipulate our file using this file object or file handle or file pointer.
Ma'am,
Yes.
file handle creates link between.
Oh, you want the definition?
Yeah.
Yes. Here you can find your definition. Okay. So from 5 minutes onwards, I was using this word file handle file object. Now let's discuss what is that. First of all, this file object helps us to read and write data to a file on disk. So what is the main role of a file object? It helps us to read and write data to a file. It helps us to read and write data to a file on the disk. Okay. It is a reference. See the word. It is a reference to a file on the disk. In this, there are various files, isn't it? So this file object is a reference to a particular file. Okay. It opens and makes it available for a different type of task. So if you specify the file object, it will automatically open that particular file. It is also known as file handle. Okay. So all the functions that we perform on a data file are performed through object file. So this object file plays an important role. If we want to access a particular file, we have to just mention the object file. We have to only just specify the file object. When we use this function, this Python stores the reference of the mentioned file. Okay, so this file, what is the main role of the file object? It has been used to read and write data to a file. Okay, so a file object is a reference to a file. So using that reference, we can identify, we can do many operations in that particular file. When we use that open function, automatically it stores the reference of a mentioned file. Okay, Krishna? Okay, I understood you're okay. So a file object, what does that mean? Every file should have a file object. It is compulsory. Okay, so using this file object, we can access that particular file. If we want to modify that, if we want to manipulate that file, we will use this. We have to mention the file object because that is a reference to a particular file. So what is the name of the file object? It is file handle. Okay. So if you want to open or if you want to make number of different tasks, we will use that file object of a particular file. So every file has a file object. So it is a reference to a file on a disk. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Ma'am, can you read the last point?
Which one, my dear?
Last point.
See, when we use this open function, no, it will automatically store. Python will automatically store a reference for that particular file. Okay.
Not that, ma'am. The last word is not clear.
Which one, my dear?
Ma'am, the last word in the last point.
A reference of mentioned file in the file. Okay. This is enough. Okay. In the file system, it is file system. No need to write. You just write this. The Python stores the reference of a mentioned file. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So here you can see different types of file access mode. You can please note it down. It is for, this is for text file and this is for binary file. For text file, R means read only. W means write only. You can only write in that file. A means append, and R plus, here plus means you can read and write. And here W plus means you can read and write. A plus means you can read and write. Okay. So these are the different file modes. These are the different file modes in the text file. Okay, basically we have learned that there are two types of text file, isn't it? So in there are two types of file. First one is text file. In text file, you can see different types of modes. So first one is R. If there is R, which means that we can only read. W means we can only write. A means we can only append. And R plus, plus means we can read and write. Okay. And while coming to the binary file mode, RB, B stands for binary. Okay, we can read, we can only read the binary file. And here B stands for binary. WB stands for we can only write the binary file. Okay, then AB means B stands for binary here. A stands for append. Okay, R plus B or RB plus, both are same, which means that we can read and write the binary file. Okay, W plus B or WB plus stands for read and write, which means that we can read and write the binary files. Okay, and A plus B, AB plus, both are same, which means that we can read and write. Right, we can append the binary file. So these are the basic file access modes. So Gauri, rather than R, you can use W or anyone that you want. Okay, when you start your program, then you will get an idea about this. So here you can see different types of file modes or file access mode. So this defines how the file will be accessed, the way in which file will be accessed. If file mode is not specified, then which is the default mode? Which is the default mode?
Read.
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 Please write this table, note down this table. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So after doing all the operations, last thing is that we have to close the file, isn't it? So this is the basic syntax of closing a file. So to close a file, this is the method that we have to use. So to close an open file, we have to use this method, close function. Okay. After this method, no task can be performed on that particular file. So which is the syntax? We have to mention the file object. Okay. So we have learned that after opening a file, then whatever we have to do, we do with the help of this file object or file handle. So how to, if we want to close a file, we have to first mention the file object. Here, in this case, file 1 is the file object. Then we have to use this function, close function. If we have to open, same file 1 equal to open, then we have to mention the file name. Okay, this is how you can open a file and this is how you can close a file. After this function, no task can be performed on that file through that file object. So this is the general form of close function. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope it is completed. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So these are the questions. Please take a screenshot of this. Over. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. You too.
Thank you.
Tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.